Jumbo, fellow dreamers. Before I begin, I want to show my support for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They are playing in the national championship today, this evening, against the Oregon Ducks, and they're gonna win. Just wanna put that out there. Got my scarlet and gray on. We're ready to do this. So today's video is all about my top 5 tips for saving money and time in the kitchen. It's gonna be good. I'm Ann, and this is Annie's Simple Life. Tip number 1, use your crock pot. If you guys do not have a crock pot, purchase a crock pot and then use it. I use my crock pot literally like every other day, basically. What I do is I buy meat in bulk at the grocery store. I throw like a whole chicken in the crock pot, let it roast up. I do it for about 4 or 5 hours on high, and it completely cooks my chicken. It's incredibly easy cleanup, and it's a little more eco-friendly than using your oven because it uses less energy, which is awesome. And then once you're done with that chicken carcass, you can throw those bones back in the crock pot, fill it up with water, let it run on high overnight, strain off the bones, and you've got yourself some lovely chicken broth to use in other recipes down the road. So I highly recommend, if you do not own a crock pot, that you purchase one. I will put a couple of links to crock pots that I own in the description bar down below, so be sure to check those out. Tip number 2 is to purchase items in bulk with the intention to do some bulk freezer cooking. Now, I totally endorse this. I do it myself, and it's pretty easy. It takes a little bit of planning, but it's really not that bad. If you're going to dirty a pan in the kitchen, you might as well make the item in bulk, and that way you're only dirtying one pan and you're getting more food from it. So here's an example. I will go to the store and I will buy like 2 or 3 packs of ground meat, and I'm actually gonna do this today. I'm making turkey chili this evening for the Ohio State game, and I'm going to be cooking up a whole bunch of ground turkey in bulk first, and then I'm going to make my turkey chili after that, after I take some of that meat out and put it in the freezer to freeze for future meals. I'm going to be dirtying the pan anyway. I might as well make some leftovers for myself so I don't have to continuously dirty pans every single day this week. Just a really good way to save yourself on some cleanup time, and it's really no additional work at all. Another thing that I like to do is I will cook up a whole pack of bacon, or maybe 2 packs of bacon, in the oven all at one time, so I'm not dirtying multiple pans. I'm just doing my cookie sheets, and I bake everything at once, pop it in the freezer after it's done cooking, and I have cooked bacon ready to go for whenever I need it. And it takes literally no additional time, and you're not dirtying any more pans, but you're getting a whole lot more food out of it. So, highly recommend doing that. Number 3, clean up as you go. Don't just set your dishes on the counter or in the sink and hope that someone's gonna do them eventually. Do them as you go. It will save so much time and will keep headaches at bay if you just get everything done all at one time. If you're putting, let's say, the chicken in the crock pot, as soon as you put it in there, clean up your utensils you used to put that chicken in the crock pot and just get them out of the sink. And that way it takes literally like 3 minutes. It's not long at all, and it will keep the clutter and the dirty dishes off your counter, so you can keep that kind of assembly line going. If you're doing a day's worth of bulk cooking, as soon as you're done using a pan, you put something in the oven or you put something on the stove, do some dishes. Use that time wisely. Since you're in there anyway, it'll save the hassle later. Plus, by getting rid of that grime early on, it's so much easier to clean your pans when it's fresh dirt than when it's dried overnight, caked on, disgusting dirt. So keep up with it as it goes, and I'm telling you, it'll be less headaches later. Tip number 4, keep a shopping list as well as a do not buy list. So we all have our shopping lists, right? We make our grocery lists, we know what we're going to the grocery to get every week, blah, blah, blah. But also keep a do not buy list as well, because you never know. You might have 3 jars of peanut butter in your pantry forget about it, buy a 4th jar of peanut butter after you get home and realize, okay, I have way too much peanut butter, what am I gonna do with this? Luckily, those things are fairly shelf stable, but it's also important to keep an eye on your fresh items. If you have a bag of carrots that you forget about and then you go buy another bag of carrots, you don't want the fresh produce to go to waste. So keep a buy and a do not buy shopping list, and that will keep you more organized in the store and keep you out of those impulse buys, saving money. Tip number 5, keep a leftovers list. So if you're doing this bulk cooking, it's great, but you gotta keep track of it. So once you have, let's say, a couple of hamburger patties that you're freezing and you've got in the freezer, put it on your leftovers list so you know that they are in there, what date you put them in there, and that where they are maybe, or what container they are in, so you can find them easily. Same thing goes with stuff you're keeping in the fridge. Like I'm doing, I'm making a big batch of turkey chili. I'm going to freeze half and I'm going to put half of the leftovers in the fridge. I'm going to make sure I put on my list that I have turkey chili in the fridge. This is the date I made it, and I have this in the freezer as well, also with the date, so I know and I don't forget that that item is in there. The worst thing that you can do is to make something, let's say on Sunday, completely forget about it until a week and a half later and you see it growing mold in the back of your refrigerator. Not good. That is time, money, and food wasted. Keep a list, stay organized so you know what leftovers you need to get through before the expiration date rolls around. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Today's shout out from yesterday's video goes to Amber, who has never been to a Trader Joe's before, but she's excited to go because she's getting one in her town. So way to go, Amber. I know you're gonna love it. Trader Joe's is one of my favorite stores in the entire world. You're gonna be obsessed as I am. Trust me. Kiss someone you love today. Go Bucks. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Ciao.